Few days ago, we celebrated the 4th of July, and for many of us, it meant gathering with our families and friends, watching the fireworks, enjoying the meals together that we have, and taking a moment to appreciate freedoms we enjoy in this country. Freedom is something we value deeply and personally. It's something people have fought for. For you, for me, we're protecting that freedom. So many of us sacrificed for freedom. But as I reflected on the Independence Day this year, I found myself thinking about a different kind of freedom. Not political freedom, but real personal freedom. The freedom to move forward, to think differently. The freedom to stop carrying yesterday into today. And I wonder, how many of us are physically free, yet emotionally and spiritually still living in chains? Are you eating well, moving your body, maybe even reading labels and still thinking, I'm doing all the healthy things, so why do I still feel off? If that's you, you're in the right place. Welcome to Start Living Sustainable, the podcast where your health finally gets the foundation the other pillars need to work. Because what you're exposed to in your home and on your body is quietly raising your toxic load and forcing your food and fitness to work harder than they should. Hi, I'm Cynthia, a non-toxic lifestyle strategist who learned the cost of exposure the long way, years before most women even know to look. Now you can start where I wish I could have, so your body can respond to the work you're already doing, not fight against it. Because when your foundation is supported, your sleep, hormones, clarity, and even your workouts finally catch up with your intentions without turning your life into a project. If you're ready, let's begin. Each week, we talk about creating a healthier home, renewing our minds, and learning to live with greater purpose, one intentional choice at a time. So today's conversation, it may be a little different for some of my listeners. Today, we're talking about the kind of freedom only God can give. I've come to realize that many of us carry far more than God ever intended us to carry. Some of us are carrying regret. Some are carrying disappointment, and some of us are even replaying conversations they wish they never had. Others wonder if I only had made a different decision. It may have been something that happened last week, last year, or even 10 years ago. Whatever it is, we carry those things, and over time, that weight begins to convince us that that's just the way we are, but that's not what God says. One of my favorite passages come from the Apostle Paul's letter to the Philippians. Paul writes, forgetting what is behind and straining forward towards what is ahead, I press towards the goal. I love that verse because Paul wasn't pretending his past never happened. He had one, a painful one. He made many mistakes and he hurt people. And yet God didn't define Paul by who he had been. God transformed him into who he was becoming. That gives me hope because it reminds me that my past doesn't get the final word. God does. You see, I've learned that one of the greatest gifts God has given me, it's the freedom to let go of the past and move forward. Not because I've done everything right. I certainly haven't. I've made decisions I wish I could take back. I've questioned myself. I've wondered if I should have handled certain situations differently, right? We all probably have, but I've also learned this. When I bring things to God, He doesn't ask me to keep carrying them. He wants me to leave them with Him. That's real, true freedom. Not pretending the past didn't happen, not ignoring it, but refusing to let it define the rest of my life. And that's where purpose begins. For a long time, I thought living on purpose meant trying harder, being more disciplined, more organized, more consistent. But purpose isn't something we achieve through willpower. It's something we discover through surrender to God, because God never asks us to transform ourselves. He asks us to trust Him, to walk with Him, to obey Him one step at a time. We do what we can, of course, and then God places his supernatural power on our natural obedience. That's why I believe faith and practical action, they don't compete with each other. They go hand in hand. I believe they work together. We take the next faithful step that's within our own control, whether it's changing a habit, replacing one product in our home, or extending forgiveness, or just simply spending time with God. Then we trust him to do what only he can do. And that's where transformation begins, not by striving harder, but by walking with him. We take the step, he supplies the strength. We choose forgiveness, he heals our hearts. We choose obedience, he changes us from the inside out. That's transformation. It doesn't just change our hearts. It starts there, but it also changes how we live. That's why I believe intentional living truly matters. When we stop trying to prove ourselves, we're free to make decisions that align with God's design for our lives. We begin caring for our homes differently. We become more thoughtful about what we bring into them, not because we're chasing perfection or anything like that, but because we're learning to steward what God has entrusted to us, our health, our families, our homes, our minds. And it's not done out of fear, but out of gratitude. So this week, I'd like to leave you with one question. What are you still carrying that God has already asked you to give to him? Maybe it's regret. Is it fear? Is it the pressure to have everything figured out? Whatever it is, take it to him, then leave it there. That's important because that's what freedom looks like. Not having a perfect past, but trusting a faithful God with your future. Friend, listen, you have the liberty to move forward, not because you've earned it, and not because you've done everything right, but because God's grace is greater than your yesterday. So don't spend another week, not another minute, looking over your shoulder. Keep your eyes on Christ. Take that next faithful step. And trust that the one who called you is faithfully leading you forward. I hope today's episode encouraged you to embrace the freedom God has already made available to you. And if it did, would you take 30 seconds and share this episode with someone who may need the reminder that yesterday doesn't have to define tomorrow? And if you have a moment, I would be so grateful if you'd leave a review for Start Living Sustainable on Apple Podcasts. It really does help more women discover the show and begin creating healthier homes rooted in faith, wisdom, and being intentional about the lives we're living. Until next time, remember, a wise woman builds her house, and we can all do that.